Ooh. Hey, man! This makes sense!
Yeah, that's really bad. That's really, really bad. To me, this was flagrant.
So that sounded the same to you guys? Good. Yeah, I'm combining StreamYard with XSplit with another software package, seeing if it works. I should be able to do different things with my sound now. Missing the bass. Yeah, Dave M, I think so too. Sounds like it usually had more bass to it. But now I can do things like this. 10,000 pine points to Ardebaran. Yo. And Ramigilnius, 5,000 pine points to you for this late night Saturday Night Live. And Genuinely Curious, 1,000 pine points to you. And guess who's the biggest loser today? That's no surprise. B.S. Lewis. How does this sound? You sound like you're at the end of a tunnel. Really? Okay, thanks for letting me know. Let me see if I can fix it. Sounds like I'm at the end of the tunnel. Does this do anything? It's Sunday. No, it's Saturday where I live. Does that sound any different? How about this one? This is crisp and warm. This is Broadcaster 1. And every time I change it, and look how white I am. I got to change the lighting too. Oh yeah, now I'm sexy. Sounds different, but it's not bad. How's the volume level? Yeah, I don't look like a ghost now though, right? Now that I changed the coloring. Oh yeah. There we go. It was too bright. You cannot hear the master's voice. Broadcaster sounded good. Yeah, this is Broadcaster 1. This is Broadcaster 3. This is Broadcaster 3. And then whenever I do that, the coloring changes. Ooh. Why is it doing that? That's strange. Why would I change the sound? I seriously changed the sound and the coloring changes. That's because I'm using another program called, I don't know, it's some program that controls both the video and audio at the same time. Well, not at the same time, but together. Anyhow, I'm muted now. Check. No, I'm not. Sounds a bit softer now. Yeah, that's weird. Why is it softer now? Check something. Yeah, you know what? If I go, now it's louder, right? But then the coloring changes. So bizarre. Autofocus off. Brightness down. Yeah. Oh well. How's your weight going, Joshua? What how many pounds have you lost? Hey, Kessie, good to see you here. Is that how you say your name, Kessie? I was just, I finished cleaning both cars with my children's help. Did some other stuff today. You lost 70 pounds, Joshua. Wow. That's amazing. But don't brag about it. Don't brag about losing 70 pounds. You've got to be humble. Oh, Lord, it's hard to be humble when you lose 70 pounds every day. Well, no, not every day. I kind of plateaued at 25, 30 pounds. If I lost 70 pounds, I'd be dead. Yeah, Joshua's lost so much weight. He's lost a Backstreet Boy. Because doesn't a Backstreet Boy weigh about 70 pounds? Yeah, just Kessie, like Jesse. Yeah, I saw your TikTok. You mentioned me. I was honored. Danka. Muy bien. Muy bien. How do you say it? I always want to, whenever I want to speak Spanish, I end up speaking French. If you have a true belief, should you still doubt? Well, the thing is, Skeptic 77, how do you know if you have a true belief? Because there's some things in life, like I think there's some things we can be very certain about, like that an individual exists, that you exist. You can say that to yourself. You can say that you're not omnipotent or omniscient. But I think everything you got just a little sliver that you could be wrong. Is the autofocus? No, it's not working. Okay, good. Yes, Space Monkey. That's what I was just saying. You'd be in a concentration camp? Are you a doubting Thomas? Of course. Proud of it. So the sound is loud, right? It really seems like it's loud. And do I look too red? Should I just take what color do you want me to be? Like right now I have it at 40%, but I could be like Satan. But we don't want to scare away the theists. I like looking at the live stream chat through YouTube rather than StreamYard because it doesn't do the highlighting. I need a manicure? Yeah, I was working, okay? I'm a man, manly man. Did you mistake regular coffee with a decaf? No, I never drink decaf coffee. Decaf coffee is just hot brown water. Red Doug is Angry Doug, of course. What do you guys want to do? You want to make fun of Frank Turek tonight? That's always fun. Which pastor apologist do you want me to watch, make fun of? In a very loving way, of course. I'm pretty whoa. Kevin, I can't say this out loud, but I'll show it. She's a married lady. Well, you know, whenever I'm feeling bored or maybe even sad a little bit, I turn on Frank Turek and I'm happy. Or you guys can just ask me questions. Hey, 127 people here tonight. And this is like, it's a bedtime for most of you. I'm on the left coast. I don't know why I went left coast because I had to think about it. Do you believe Jesus' followers believe they saw Jesus perform a miracle? That's a tough question because I think the people who wrote about those miracles weren't the ones who saw it. But I can safely say, yeah, sure, some of them. But it's the same way as if you go see a magic show today. Some people think, oh, that guy's of the devil. That's an actual type of miracle. Have you ever reviewed Francis Chan? Yes, I have. I did one on him on Hell. Oh yes, we're getting all day today. It's been rainy. Hey, are you guys like me that when it rains, your bones start to ache, or is it just because I'm old? That dare's funny right there. Oh! You want to do that? What's some good advice for a young married couple? Separate bedrooms. That's a given, right? And keep your expectations a little lower than what you currently have it. When I got married, I said to my wife, take all my strengths, bring it down about 10, 20%. Take all my weaknesses, bring them up 10, 20%. If you still want to marry me, let's do this. Let's do this thing. Yes, and separate bathrooms. Separate bedrooms, separate bathrooms. Have you ever cursed the Holy Spirit? What does that actually mean? You know, that's supposed to be like unpardonable sin or something like that, or just I don't know. Sometimes they say it's just disbelief, the unforgivable sin. But what does that actually mean? How do you blaspheme the Holy Spirit? Separate homes. Now, Miss Adamir, don't go too far with this. Marriage is a wonderful thing. I mean, it's companionship. It's the best way to raise a family. It brings tremendous hope, meaning, and purpose to have children, to see them grow up, live vicariously through them. See, now I'm getting this little thing. I got to fix that. There we go. If God isn't real, how did I get this nice pool table? That's just science. Like, oh, I got Nitty here. I forgot.
Hey,
Nitty.
what are we testing right now? What is going on?
I'm testing XSplit with StreamYard with a program for sound and video. So I got 3 programs intermingling.
Whoa.
And it doesn't quite work because whenever I change one thing, it kind of resets the when I change my sound, it resets the visual.
Oh geez.
So
that's got to be super annoying.
Well, this is just a test night, so
okay,
fun.
Yeah, I love that question about advice to young couples.
How long have you been married?
I've been married 10 years.
Oh wow, you look too young for 10 years.
Most people say that, and it drives them bananas.
Well, think back when you were married, just in the first year. What was the hardest part for you?
Oh God, it's really hard to answer this question, Doug, because I was in that pretty culty church. So like,
oh, that's right. Yeah.
Right. So like I had to balance like getting to keep investing in my wife, like, and we had just finished being in a long distance relationship. So like the pressure to get married from our long distance relationship to our close proximity to follow Jesus Christ or whatever, had its own challenges that most of your listeners or like other people who don't have that kind of baggage have to deal with. But I guess though, first year would be like being able to say yes and no to sex, like, and or receiving
but
yes
you
and
can
no
say no
answers to sex, right? Yeah, developing that maturity to take the no answer to sex, because I think there's a lot of very young men that get into marriages, especially Christian men, that need to just be
Oh,
able
it was
to.
your wife who said no.
Oh yeah, I'm a hornball, Doug. Nitty loves titties. That's the saying.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people say that sex drive, it really isn't that difference between men and women, but I beg to differ. We have this chemical in us called testosterone. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, both
Yeah.
sexes have it. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it.
Well, yeah, we have
and it
estrogen
influences-
too,
Yeah,
but
Yeah.
it's just not as much. But
Nitty can't grow titties, but given enough time.
can you
and
say that word
accidental
on my
chemicals-
channel? This is a wholesome channel. I don't know if you can say the T
Oh.
word.
Okay.
Yeah. Because there's Christians watching.
All right. That's okay.
Actually, should we figure out how many Christians are here? You want to answer that question for Joshua because he graciously donated
What?
$2. This is a softball. Do you see it?
Come on, Sweden, bro. Hold on.
How would you answer him?
I mean, hold on. My virtual camera someone requested real Nitty, but my virtual camera doesn't want to work right now apparently. But oh my goodness.
Here's how I would do it.
Okay, sure.
I would say if you're going to point to certain countries like North Korea and China and say that here's an example of the harm atheism does, you can point to times in history that were Christian theocracies that also did harm.
Right.
So,
Well, there's
and I'm
there's
sure
majority
Joshua would
Catholic-
say you cannot judge the ideology by its followers. Don't judge Christianity just because you got some messed up followers. I could say, don't judge atheism based on a few atheists.
right. Well,
There you
also
go,
there's
Joshua.
most nations in South America which are experiencing incredible economic hardship and political instability are predominantly Catholic still. So
Uh-oh. Woo! Whoa.
spicy night.
I think I'm going to have to give out 20,000 Pine points to Jennifer.
I mean,
Okay, I have to get something to show Jennifer something here. No, it's going to be fine.
remember this is a family friendly stream.
I don't know if you ever heard this story, but I basically had my my testosterone levels checked when I was 45, 46 years old.
Okay.
Yeah. Now that's, I'm an older man. Let's see here. There's anything incriminating in here? Make sure I don't divulge too much. Yeah, my cholesterol was high back then. It's high now too. Okay, but see if you guys can read that. You see this circle? 989.1.
Whoa.
Yeah. So 989.1 as a 45-year-old, 46-year-old is towards the top of the range for 18-year-old boys. That was me at age 45.
Damn.
Yeah. So Jennifer, I think I might be the exception. Doug looks like Dame Edna. Who's Dame Edna? Do you know who that is?
PS Lewis out of 10,000.
I don't know if I'm a theist. I lost my God. It's hard. Now, is this a play on words with the other thing she was talking about, coitus? Or is this just her being serious for a second and saying that it's hard that she's no longer a theist? I think you're being serious, right, Jennifer? And I understand. It's like if you have this relationship for so you think you have this relationship in your head, and then all of a sudden it's gone. You can go through a grieving process. But thanks for the donations. How did you deal with the grieving process?
I mean, so for me, I think it was helpful for my wife to read Dave Warnock's book about his faith journey and losing his belief in God, Christ, and all that stuff. And getting her head around that for some of us, it is like a death in a family where we're not really sure where to go next and like how we're going to deal with big problems and issues. And then, you know, just having that companionship always available, but then, oh, it's gone. I'm not sure I can really trust that it's there ever. How did I
don't
deal
think
with it? I guess
I don't think I ever grieved.
I had to. And for me, that grieving was pretty painful. There was a lot of like personal sadness, but I think listening to lots of different call-in shows and exposing this journey to a lot of other people like that I was developing friendships with, both online and offline, was very helpful to me. And finding healthy avenues to get out my energy, my frustration,
Like
writing
poker.
things down. Poker, spending money unnecessarily also helps. But but another thing that helps is writing these feelings down just like you would in a prayer journal, but being honest with yourself about what you're going through. For me, that was very helpful.
Yeah. You lie when you say that atheism is just one answer to one question. Oh, I'm a liar. Have you told one lie ever, Nitty? That makes you a liar.
Totes.
You know where? Do you know where you're going to go when you die? Sorry, that type of thing reminds me of very comfort, Joshua. You don't treat the Bible like you treat the Odyssey. I kind of do. You joined a club, Doug. Oh, he's saying atheism is a club. Well, if it is a club, I'm a pariah member. I'd say only 30% of atheists like me.
Like half the Twitter community of atheists don't like you.
Half? Well, now you're making my feelings.
So not too long ago, I mentioned that the after party that we had for my 100 subscribers, someone mentioned like in passing in some chat that I was in, I'll just put it that way, like Pine Creek is trash. And I was like, what? But I'm like, I don't think so. Right. But I would say like there's a contingent of people that don't align with you, but they make that like a personal issue with you in their minds.
It's because I'm a conservative, I lean right, and so it's like if I don't have the same amount of passion about certain issues, it's that. But they don't understand that, like, from my experiences and interactions with you, you're very open and accepting to all kinds of people, and there's no barriers, right? So anyway, I'm being serious, says Jennifer. I don't know if I'm an atheist. Well, Jennifer, why don't you come in and we can figure this out together? God of the Bible is not the God. I miss having a God. I have weird trans-dimensional experiences, not God. Oh. Ooh. Do you take these orange pills, Jennifer? They're barrel-shaped. Did you almost spit?
Maybe.
But no, Jennifer, if you want to come in, I can have a short talk about it. Oh, Joshua, stop giving me money, Joshua. You need this money to, I was going to say for food, but you're not really eating anymore.
Intermittent fasting will do that.
If I became an atheist, I wouldn't suddenly start being snarky. I would still believe the Bible's a nice book, etc. The fact that it changes when folks deconvert proves that they don't. How do you know? I mean,
no, hold on. I have a great response to this. So I actually got lunch with one of my coworkers who also left my former church, but he's still believes in Jesus and Christianity, whatever. And I was very supportive of him. I'm like, why don't you check out this church? Why don't you check out this kind of church? Why not this other kind of church? Like, opening that door for him, I think, really helped him, even though he knows that I don't believe. And he's like, this is almost a little weird and surreal that, like, you still want me to go to church and stuff like that. I'm like, well, like, in some regards, the Bible is a beautiful book, right? It does recount these fantastical historical details and allegorizations of what was happening to early Christians, and it encapsulates these ways that these communities were thinking about how to reconcile their lived experience with what they wanted to be true, right?
Yeah,
and the book of Revelation is just
there's definitely
awesome ball of a lot of that.
There's definitely lovely poetry. Ecclesiastes is fun. Proverbs is fun. Some good advice in there. But the Gospel of Mark, the first gospel written, I went through it, every word, and made notes, and I determined it was 80-90% fiction. So in that way, it's like the Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
What's like got to do with it? You're useful. What? Well, thanks for Fred, Harvey. I understood everything you just said. I think love is what he wanted to say. No, maybe not. Arabian Princess. You know what, Arabian Princess? I checked your channel out the other day, and you have a wonderful singing voice. I will give you 25,000 pie points if you come on right now and sing a ditty for us. Faith is personal and an individual thing, but surely he who loves the truth and seeks it with all his heart will find it. Yes, but what if the truth is that Christianity is false? Do you have the courage to accept that? But yeah, you do have a great singing voice.
I have not checked out her channel, so I'm going to have to do
I think it's you. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's somebody else I'm talking about. But Arabian Princess, do you sing? Am I thinking about the right person here? Okay. Brandon, we'll see what Brandon has to say.
Welcome.
I'm not.
Show your face.
Okay.
You're very loud.
Me or Brandon?
Me,
Brandon.
I am.
Oh, hey.
I'm trying to be as quiet as possible.
Hey, Brandon, what do you got to say?
I like the way Doug deals with people. He's honest. It seems like he's being mean sometimes. Like one time he thought, "No, Brandon, no, I'm coming on. Not having you." And then some people that can sound pretty mean, but not to me. It's honest in my opinion.
Well, thank you. Yeah, and a part of it is age. Like as you get older, you kind of care less about what people think about you, and life's too short. So if I don't want to talk to somebody, I just boot them.
Yeah, I don't see that as being mean. I see it as being honest.
I think I've let you go a couple times, but Brandon, I'm very sincere here. I think you're a wonderful guy. You seem very nice-hearted. I'm sure we would laugh sharing a beer together. Well, we wouldn't share a beer, but having a beer together. But yeah.
And we are in the same state, so but nah.
Same state as being human or in Arizona?
Arizona, yeah.
Oh, you're in Arizona too?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm in Tempe.
Okay. Don't give your address out, okay?
No, I won't do that.
By the way, the room is free. Well, I might just rotate people around. Were you ever a Christian, Brandon?
No, I was in a church program called Awanas when I was a kid.
Oh, Awana.
Yeah, well, that's where I got that children's Bible I had that I was talking about with you.
Yeah.
That you asked me if there were any drowning babies in the Noah's flood. story.
I sent my kids, or my wife sent my kids to. Is it Awana? Is that how you say it? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Usually they just do arts and crafts, right? It's not a lot
Well,
of big
no,
theology.
It's not super preachy. Yeah.
no, there are like games and stuff too. I still have a uniform that I wore there when I was a kid.
There's no such thing as God or the devil. You agree with that, right, Brandon?
Yeah, I do.
I feel sorry for people who believe not so much in God, but like this devil character that they constantly have to look around their shoulder, and that there's this spiritual warfare, and that everything is just so serious.
Or that people that are, not completely on board with how you are doing Christianity might be energized by a demon or Satan. Like, what? Fear around every corner much? Like, yeah.
People in certain sects calling other people that are on different sects of the same religion Satanists.
I'm dying to figure out how to get my favorite theist to run through the flying man here someday. Hey, Kessie, you do it. I mean, you have this relationship with your theist friends. You know how to do it. You've seen me do it many times, I'm sure. It's not that hard. They will feel very uncomfortable doing it to a stranger in front of hundreds of people on the fly, no pun intended. Yeah.
Yeah, that flying man thought experiment is actually a pretty good one. I've seen you do it a couple of times.
Yeah, I actually think it's the ultimate outsider test for faith, because you can massage it to whatever you want. And it's so hilarious to me when people say, well, this is just a hypothetical. Yes. You're just copying the evidence for Jesus. Yes.
Oh.
Now enter the imagination with me and tell me if you think you would believe these things. But anyhow, Brandon, you have a great night, okay? Oh, Joshua. Is Joshua just trying to...
What, butterball us? Oh, he didn't send a super chat, or he's just interacting with Jason? What's going on here? I'm switching between tabs.
Yes, I'm sure you are a good apprentice. Doug, new or old atheist? CC, is Doug a new or old atheist? Well, I am old. Do you believe that all this harmony and natural order of all things is only luck and there's no regular? Now, this is a good question. I actually think one of the strongest arguments for a deity is what I guess theists would call the argument from beauty. Because I get this sense and this, the tingly feeling on the back of my neck when I see someone really good at what they do. Usually it's in music, but it doesn't have to be. And that those performances that bring a tear to your eye. I'm going to go see Lion King here in Tucson soon, and that musical is just phenomenal and always gets me. I've got to bring a Kleenex box, even though I'm dead inside. Oh, what's going on there? You trying to give me epileptic
I'm screwing
seizure?
with my light. Sorry.
But Arabian Princess, I hear what you're saying, but please hear me out here for a second. For every one beautiful thing you can see on this planet and experience on this planet, isn't there at least two terrible things, if not more? And I don't even want to be a bummer and go through all of them, the different things that can happen in this world. But if you use that type of argument of beauty, you got to be fair and look at all the garbage too. And just don't say, well, that's because of the fall in the Garden of Eden. Just don't explain it away. Say, hey, this God sees the future, saw this would happen, put his stamp of approval on it saying, I'm going to create anyhow. So
you also have to give us a coherent definition of what harmony means, because there is there's a subjective sense of what you feel is harmonious, but may also be just in an inescapable relationship between the chemicals and organisms and how they relate and all that shit. Like, it gets really difficult to split up what is something that we think is harmonious versus just the isness of like interactions of specific things in our environment, like the northern lights. Would you say that's like the harmoniousness of the chemicals
Great
hitting our
example of beauty, though.
atmosphere? Yeah, and it's beautiful, but it's something that is happening by the accidents of their relationship to one another as the chemicals and lights that they are, or photonic experience that we're having with our eyes.
Where have you seen northern lights?
Apparently they were visible from my location, but I haven't personally. But
What state are you in?
I could understand that. Ohio.
Yeah.
So.
I remember when I was in high school in Manitoba, Canada, driving on number 1 highway, which is basically their one and only interstate, inner province. And the northern lights just lit up the sky, and every car on the most popular, busy main highway in the country pulled over, and everybody was just looking up at the sky. It was just an amazing experience.
Yeah.
I feel sad that my kids haven't seen northern lights yet. I gotta bring them to Canada in summer, I guess.
Oh, hi, kitty.
Okay, I'm gonna play some Frank Turk just to get a laugh. So I'm gonna let you go, Nitty.
Sure.
Take care.
Okay. Yeah.
See how this works. Which screen am I going to show? This one. See, that's too small. No, I'm too small. See, this is why I don't like StreamYard. With XSplit, I can curtail it to whatever I want. But anyhow, let's see. Videos. Who to say who I should love? I don't like shorts. Oh, this should be good. Can you guys hear it? Can you hear it? Yeah, I didn't think so. Let me try that again. Sorry, guys. This is my first time really with StreamYard, and I'm kind of giving up on XSplit and StreamYard together. So I got to do this, this, share audio. Oh, there's a little box on the left corner. Don't show this tip again. Got it. Maximize play.
Philosophy both show us that the universe is, and I believe the Old Testament's true because Jesus thought it was true.
Oh my goodness.
How do we know the Bible is, and this is a long answer. I know you have to give a shorter answer, but how do you know that the Bible is reliable? Do we have any actual evidence for the Old Testament claims, like the army being wiped out in the Exodus? And how do we know that they recorded the truth and didn't make it up?
Okay. Well, the way I learned how to know that
You notice the questioner asked things like the Exodus and not like the miraculous stuff. Like, this is my advice to Christians here. There's probably I gotta be very careful with my wording. There are many things that are factually, historically true in the Bible. Many things. Okay? The real issue is these miraculous claims, or the claims that you and me just find very difficult to believe. So when someone says, "Oh, look, we dug up this, and this, the Bible talks about this city, and we dug up this city, and blah blah blah," okay, that's fine, but that doesn't get you anywhere closer to thinking all of it's true. I remember when I was in undergraduate university and I took a philosophy class. Yeah, I got at least 3 credit hours. Maybe I have 6. I don't know. But the philosopher teacher said, "Hey, Doug, I don't know how we got on the topic. Isn't it reasonable to say that some things in the Bible are true and some things are false that claim to be true?" And I remember as a Christian, that question bothered me. And you guys have heard me say that question many times too. Because it's really hard. It's extremely difficult to say no to that question. No, that's not reasonable to say. Of course it's reasonable to say. But once someone of a certain brand of Christianity is like a fundamentalist, for example, if they entertain the idea that some things that are claimed to be true in the Bible are actually false, I tell you, it becomes a house of cards for them.
The Bible's true, and I'm really summarizing a lot here, is by pointing out, that truth exists, that God exists, that miracles are possible, and the New Testament's telling the truth about the resurrection. Because if those 4 things are true, that there's truth, that God exists, that miracles are possible, and the New Testament is reliable enough to let us know that the resurrection occurred, then Christianity is true.
Yeah. I don't know why this bothers me, because it's so incredibly stupid, I guess. But when you say, if truth exists, God is real, miracles are possible, and if the New Testament is accurate about the resurrection of Jesus, then Christianity is true. Is there anybody who is a fan of Frank Turk who thinks this is powerful? If you're listening right now, please come in and tell me why that's powerful to you. Because you can say that about any religion that you deem false. Well, if truth exists and God is real, and if the Quran is accurate about Muhammad being the last prophet, well, then Islam is true. Done deal. It's exactly the same thing. And it boggles my mind that a grown man like Frank Turk, does he not see what I see?
Because if Jesus rose from the dead, game over. Christianity's true.
Yeah.
And so what we do when we go to a college campus is we present those 4 questions. Does truth exist? Does God exist? Are miracles possible? Is the New Testament reliable with regard to the resurrection? And we give evidence that the answer is yes to all those questions. And if the answer is yes to all those questions, then Christianity's true. Now you say, well, I trust Jesus.
Yeah, and if the answer is yes to all the questions about Islam, if the answer is yes about all the questions about Mormonism, then Mormonism is true. Then Islam is true. And people give this guy money for this type of talk. I don't get it. Nice stubble, Doug. Well, thank you, Paul Sparks. I'm, try to be manly.
Because, well, look, I just have a personal policy. If somebody predicts and accomplishes his own resurrection from the dead, I just trust whatever the guy says.
How do you know Jesus even said that? Isn't it reasonable? Isn't it at least likely that someone penciled that in? Let's just use our imagination for a second. Let's imagine that Jesus actually didn't predict and didn't rise from the dead. How do you explain that in the text? Oh, people would never do that, Doug. This is a historical book. This is probably the main thing between people who like the evidentialists and the people who like the historical method, and people like me. Those who believe it and those who don't, like me. I don't see the New Testament as mostly history. Sorry, I don't. Especially the Gospels. I just don't see this as a history book. Once you're open to seeing it in a different way, I mean, if you can see this as religious propaganda, I don't like that. See, look at that. See, XSplit wouldn't have that problem. I I can choose my layering. With StreamYard, you can't. Anyhow, I didn't know what I was going to say. Otangelo wants in. Should I let Otangelo in? I don't know who's worse, Frank Turek or Otangelo. Who's worse, you or Frank Turek? Do you like Frank Turek?
Absolutely. I think he's a great guy and he's a great apologist.
Okay, you think he's a great apologist, but can you please, I'm going to cry. Can you please tell me that you understand my point that I just made about if the New Testament is true and Jesus rose from the dead, then Christianity is true, game over. Do you understand my point that I was making there?
No.
No, you don't.
I disagree with you.
No. I'm not. I didn't ask you if you agreed or disagreed. I asked, do you understand my point of view?
Well, I've seen that you were saying, well, why is it not Islam or another kind of religion? And I think seriously, Pine Creek, you can put all the evidence of all other religions cumulatively together.
No, but you're missing my point.
And they will not come even close to the
I'm going to try again.
that we have for Christianity.
I know you believe that, and this is, I understand. I got it. You're saying that the evidence for Christianity is way better than Islam and Mormonism and all that stuff, so it's not even a comparison. But that's not my point. My point is this. When a person says, if truth exists, if God is real, if miracles are possible, and if the New Testament is reliable, then about Jesus rising from the dead, then Christianity is true. Okay?
Yes.
There's 4 ifs there.
Yeah, it is a cumulative case.
Hang on. Now, to that I say, duh, because it's like saying, if the cat is white, then the cat is white. Do you see what I'm getting at? He's basically saying, if it's true, all these things, then Christianity is true.
He's saying an obvious thing.
I know.
Right. Yeah.
Well, it's not just obvious. It's obviously useless, what he's saying.
Yeah, I am getting what you are saying. Yeah, I can understand.
Okay, you understand? Thank goodness you understand where I'm. And it's things like this that when I hear grown men who have been apologists for years and years, decades, use this type of apologetic, use this type of words. I'm going, do you think this is powerful? Because now hear me out. If God is real, and if he spoke to Muhammad in a cave and gave him the very words that became the Quran, if that's true, then Islam is true, right?
Yeah, we need to investigate if it is actually true.
Right. But that statement I just made is stupid. And Frank Turek just said it too. So do you want to maybe bring your esteem for Frank Turek down a little bit?
No, I've seen many things from him, and I really esteem him and his ministry and what all that he's doing. I think he's doing a great job. He is a great communicator. I mean, you can criticize what you just did right now, but I see it in a bigger picture.
Well, do you think there's any apologist better than him?
I think each apologist has his qualities, his strengths and weaknesses, and it's difficult to compare people. So I don't like to answer that question. I think that, as I said, I think he is doing a great job.
I think he just appeals to stupid people, stupid Christians. I'm being dead serious. Low IQ Christians.
Yeah, I disagree with you. I think he brings very good arguments, like fine-tuning, good arguments for the resurrection, good scientific arguments which point to God. As I said, I esteem.
No, he just parrots what.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we all parrot from others. We learn from others.
Not me.
And incorporate it in our apologetics.
This
is
the channel of originality.
Does. Yeah, I know. You are special, Pine Creek. We all know special. That. That's why everyone likes you. They like you too. You know that. even if sometimes I say some heavy stuff, but I like you.
We got to convert you to a universalist.
Oh, thank you. No.
You're not even a hopeful universalist. Don't you want to be hopeful that everybody gets to go to heaven?
It's not biblical.
You want some people to go to hell?
No, that's not what I said. But what I said is that it is not biblical. I mean, you know what you need to do, and I know you want to have a good destiny after you die, right? So
no, I want to die, and that's it. We're both like like Wilson from Home Improvements. Duck down a little bit, just so your glasses. Just duck down a bit. Do it, Otangelo. Have you seen that show, Home Improvements?
No.
No? Oh, that's because I forget what you are. You seem South American, but you're European. You're Swedish?
No, I'm Swiss Italian.
Swiss Italian. Okay. Arabian Princess says, John said, this is the disciple who testified of these things. Wait. Where do you get the John said part? Where does she get that from? Tell everybody where Arabian Princess gets the John said part. Just the first two words. How does Arabian Princess know those first two words? Can you hear me?
You're asking me what is your question?
My question is, Arabian Princess says, John said, this is the disciples who testifies to these things, blah, 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 blah.
This is in Revelation.
No, this is in 1 John 1:1, she said.
No. You see, she's saying that the same author which wrote Revelation wrote John 1:1, which is the Apostle John.
Oh, okay. So Revelation 1, you think that's where she's talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one caveat. No, I think she's quoting the Gospel of John, chapter 22.
Oh, the end of the gospel. Yeah, right. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And so if she is, which I'm quite sure she is, the only reason why Arabian Princess thinks that John said that is because she's been told that the early church fathers said that John wrote the Gospel of John. Right? That's accurate, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so Arabian Princess, here we have a Christian who just agreed with what I just said. His name's Otangelo. But nowhere within the text itself does it say that John said that. Do you agree, Otangelo?
Yes.
There you go. But thank you for the $10. And that's my point. I think she's bringing that up because I came up with that creed, the creed about that no author of the Gospels identifies himself in the first person and says he saw this. In fact, no one identifies themselves in the first person in the whole New Testament and says that they saw the risen Jesus, except for maybe Revelation 1, but that's clearly a vision, and Paul, and that's clearly a vision. Do you agree that those are visions?
Well, yes, they are visions, of course. I mean, it was a supernatural event when the apostle went and saw all these things, right? I mean,
no, when I say vision, I mean like it wasn't real external to their own brain.
Well, I don't know. I don't know, of course, what exactly happened, how that occurred, and everything else. So I cannot comment on that. What I believe is that it was a real revelation from God, from Christ to the apostle, and he wrote it down. I don't believe it was a hallucination or just a dream or something like that.
Yeah, but even the text itself doesn't say that the people around Paul in the book of Acts, when it tells about the Damascus Road experience, doesn't say that the people around him saw Jesus.
Right. Only the apostles saw Jesus. Yes. Yeah, that's
pretty suspect, right?
I mean,
like if Atangelo, let's be serious. If you and I were at a party and we're dancing and drinking orange juice because we don't drink alcohol, and I said, "Oh, look, there's my ancestor, the flying man, hovering around this room," but I'm the only one who sees it. You would say, oh, "Come on," right?
But last time when I came to your stream, I told you a story which you can actually even see. I had an interview now with this guy from Norway, and he had a vision. He was an agnostic, an atheist. He saw Jesus. He had a feeling of feeling loved and so forth, and he became a Christian. And today, I mean, when you hear testimonies like this from several parts of the world, then you start thinking, well, there is something going on. And I've heard that since I converted 37 years ago, and today, occasionally, I met a testimony of a guy from South Africa.
Atangelo, but this is all like, I know it's powerful for you, but do you understand how people like me listen to this and it's hard for us not to be rude and just say, so what? Because we know that there's people who claim to have seen things that are not real. Right?
Yeah, sure.
And I'm not saying they're lying. I'm saying like they could be hallucinating. They could be on drugs. They could have mental illness. They could be just caught up in the moment. I don't know what, but just because you hear even a million testimonies of people seeing some miraculous thing or seeing even Jesus today, that doesn't mean it happened.
So if you have 1 million testimonies and 999,999 are all hallucinations, but one is actually what happened. What
is more likely, Otangelo? It makes it worse. It makes it worse because if you're saying if just one of them is real, then it's real. But then you got to explain why it was real for that one and not the 999,999. Like, what made that one stand out?
Well, but the thing is, it's like with the scientific theory talk. When you have 1,000 scientists saying this theory is wrong, and then comes just one guy who proves that it is actually right, then it's right. Then he has disproven all the others, right?
You know, scientists don't really use the word prove. Did you know that?
Yeah, they make hypotheses and then they make tests to see if they actually withstand the scrutiny and the testings or not. They try to disprove the hypothesis.
Yeah, I want to try an experiment.
You make the experiment, but
no. I mean, I want to respond to Arabian Princess here because she's donated, but I want you to respond on my behalf. So she says, It says in John 21:24, this is the disciple who testifies to these things and wrote them down. We know that his testimony is true. Who is the writer? Well, John the disciple. Can you respond to this on my behalf? Like, pretend you're me. What would I say?
You would say someone probably added it to the gospel.
No, that's not the point here.
Yeah, so what is the point?
You have no idea what I would say to this.
No.
Oh, that saddens my heart. Because you listen to me often, right? See, this is the problem between the left and the right in politics and religious and non-religious people. Like, you got to at least understand each other. What I would say to this is the word "this" in here does not say John is the disciple who testifies to these things. That's my point. Nowhere in the text itself, Arabian Princess, does it say John is the person who wrote this and testifies to these things. There's an assumption in your head because you've been told by your pastor, preacher, apologist that John wrote the Gospel of John. So then when you see the word this, you're going, how does Doug not see this? It's John,
Okay.
right?
Okay, so let's suppose it wasn't John. So
Right.
what?
Yeah. My only point is on all this is it boggles my mind how people can't even see this, number one, and admit to it, number two. That's all. It's no big deal. Like I said this when I made that Creed video. It's not a big deal. All you have to say is, yeah, Doug, you're right. Nowhere in the Gospels does it use the first person and say that so-and-so wrote this.
Yeah,
Nowhere.
I have no problem. I have no problem with it, really.
Well, yeah, but Arabian Princess does. And she's like a sweet little young woman who has been brainwashed into thinking that it's there, but it's not.
But you know, Pine Creek, I am fine to go with the tradition. I see no problem with it. And even if it was another,
I can tell you a problem with the Gospel of John. Why you shouldn't go with the tradition?
You can tell me many problems. I know you have them all in your mind.
Well, I can a very simple one. Well, I got to ask you a question first. When do you think the Gospel of John was written? What date?
95 BC.
Okay, 95. How old would John have been if he wrote the Gospel of John?
Very old, about 90 or 100 years old, something like that.
90 to 100 years old. Isn't it more likely that John would be dead at that point?
There are many people which reach 100 years or even
I'm
more
not saying
than that.
it's possible, but isn't it more likely that the disciple John would be dead? In other words, I'm asking a very simple question. More people didn't live to 95 than did. It was extremely rare for a person to live that long back then. Extremely rare. It's rare today. And we have modern medicine. And he would have been dead, most likely.
Okay. So what is your conclusion based on that?
Because you said, I have no problem saying that John wrote the Gospel of John. I'm saying, well, here's one little problem. If he did, he would have been, and they actually write this in the text, that he was a very old man. And I think the author actually wrote in the text that, where is it that kind of hints towards that the disciple who would never die? The author even realized, oh man, how are we going to make it look like John wrote this if he would be so old? Oh, I know what we'll do. We'll put in there that he would never die. There was this rumor going around.
But Doug, don't forget, if just God puts fire in your napkin, it doesn't matter anymore, right? All this, what you are saying right now, it doesn't matter. If he does,
you want to try it tonight?
Well, I don't. I told you, I don't think that God operates this way. I think there are other.
What? You do not think God operates using miracles?
Not that kind of miracle that you're expecting that he does.
What kind of miracles does he operate with?
Yeah, I was telling you that I met tonight a guy from South Africa. And
no. I don't want to hear about visions and whatever, dreams. What's the most miraculous thing you've ever seen in your life?
I've seen demons being expelled from people.
Did you actually see the demon? What color was it?
No, I've not seen the demon.
Did you actually hear the demon?
Yes, I hear the voice of the woman which was
the voice
different.
of the woman. How do you know? How did you determine it was the voice of a demon rather than the voice of the woman?
Because it was different. The voice was different. It was
different.
A male. It was a male voice.
It was a male
which came out from.
I can talk like this, like a female. Some women can talk like men.
Yeah, but there was a whole context to this. I mean,
a whole context. Yeah. No, you've never seen a demon, Otangelo. You have not.
No, I told you I've not seen the demon, but I saw.
You just said you saw an exorcism of a demon, which means the demon comes out of a person.
I saw a person which was possessed by a demon, and then the exorcism, and how that woman was after that demon left her.
So what you actually saw was a woman do some shaking or convulsing and screaming in a low voice. That's what you saw.
Yes.
Whoa, that's quite the miracle, isn't it? That's the most miraculous thing you've ever seen in your life.
Well, I've seen prophecies. People. A pastor telling to someone which was a stranger things of his life which he couldn't have known unless God would have revealed it to that person.
But there's a word for that, cold reading.
But
right now there's
possible.
there's 257 people right now listening to us, and hang on, I'm sensing there's a person listening right now who has a scar on their left knee. A scar on their left knee. That person who has a scar on their left knee, listen to me now. God is telling me that there's a relationship in your life that needs improvement. But he says that you should not give up hope. So the person with a scar on the left knee with a relationship that needs improvement, God is telling me to tell you to not give up hope, and to work harder to keep the peace. See, it's that type of stuff. And I guarantee you, now everybody with a scar on their left knee, type the number 1. I'm very curious. If you have a scar on your left knee, type the number 1.
Yeah, that's obviously not what I experienced. But Pine Creek, when people ask me, "Do you have evidence?"
Look at the chat. There's at least 15 people out of 268 who have scars on their left knee. Now, where did that come from? Why a scar? Why on the left knee and not the right? Doug's a prophet. This is the same technique that these prophets in churches use.
Yeah, but it wasn't in a church. It was a different circumstance, and it wasn't at all what you just said right now.
Yeah,
so.
It was much more powerful, right?
But
okay,
Otangelo, that. Yeah, okay.
I'll give you the last word. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, I mean, I don't like to use testimonies like this to make my case. I am evidence-based. My apologetics is evidentialism. So
yeah,
I like much the teleological argument. I think that's powerful.
Good for you that you like evidence. We're agreed on that one. Take care.
Bye-bye.
That's kind of hilarious how many people have a scar on their left knee. I'm sensing right now that there's someone in the live stream chat who has a back pain on the left side. Who's McGruber?
Oh, hey, Doug.
McGruber? Hi there.
How's it going? I'm sorry, I'm on my desktop computer, so I don't have my webcam on today. We talked in April a while ago. I was a new convert to Christianity.
We talked in April. Okay, I don't remember, but anyhow.
I was the one with the fiance who was not a Christian, and you told me that if I were serious, I'd leave her.
Oh, now I remember you, or at least I remember that conversation.
An impression.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what happened?
Oh, well, Doug, we're still together, ministering the gospel to her, and I think that I can, make the case for.
Are you still a Christian?
This.
Are you still Christian?
Did you say something?
Yeah. Are you still a Christian?
Yeah.
So and when's the wedding?
Next year.
Next year?
Yeah.
Why are you waiting?
I
don't think you should get married, but why are you waiting?
What do you mean? Why are we waiting? We have that date is significant to us, and we're just.
Aren't you burning up with lust?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, it's better to get married than have your loins all heated.
Indeed. So, so I'm calling because I do think Frank Turek's point, like Frank Turek makes a good point, that the Bible is written by God, and that if something in the Bible isn't true, then God isn't a truth bearer. Therefore, the Bible is unreliable. Therefore, the whole edifice falls apart.
Right, but he said if the New Testament is reliable about Jesus' resurrection, then Christianity is true. I'm saying, duh, that's just an obvious statement, right? It's like saying if the cat is red, well, then it's red.
Well, some people need to have the obvious drilled into them, like per the
like stupid people.
Worldview, you're going to hell because you reject the gospel, and you don't even have you lack intelligibility to make any claims at all. You don't have any ability to ground any claims that you.
Well, that's different.
I'm not sure
you first said. Then we must have a delay here, but you first said I don't have the intelligibility, but then you changed it and said I don't have the grounding for it, right?
Sorry, I glitched out for a second, and you lack grounding.
Yeah, so you're not calling me stupid.
I don't think you're stupid.
Okay, I just can't ground my.
You just can't ground any assertion.
My smartness.
So we shouldn't take your opinions about the reliability of the Bible seriously. Because you have no means by which
you're back to saying I'm stupid.
No, I'm saying that you lack grounding for.
Okay, but what does the grounding have to do with how I see evidence?
Because you have no way to ground those claims from one time index to the next. You could say this is.
I'm asking what does grounding matter?
It matters because you'll say, "Oh, the gospel message is incoherent," but in the next moment, it'll make complete sense because there's nothing sustaining your claim. The truth.
Do you think I have the ability? Do you think I have the ability to find contradictions in the Book of Mormon or the Quran without grounding?
Well, no, not without grounding. No.
Without the ability to articulate my grounding.
No,
I can't find.
No, you cannot.
So if I open up the Book of Mormon and it says David should pick up a stick, verse 2, David should not pick up a stick. Because I don't have the grounding, I can't say that's a contradiction.
No, because you have no metric by which you can judge what a contradiction is, but for the Christian worldview.
Oh, so I can't even see that there's a contradiction.
No, I mean you can see it, but you know how? Okay,
can I see it or can't I see it?
Well, you can't account for it. You can see it, right. You can't account for it.
Okay. I can't account for it, but I can still see it.
That's debatable. Like Matt Slick would say that you can't even see it, so that's why I'm kind of flip-flopping here. But
yeah, you are flip-flopping.
I
think you need to go back to Matt Slick.
I have to
take his course.
I have to stay in solidarity with my Christian brothers. But
do you see the problem?
No. Because ultimately, Doug, I have suspended my autonomous reasoning in favor of accepting the headship and sovereignty of God.
Are you just joking, or are you just trolling me now?
I'm not trolling you, man.
Okay, say that again. Say that again. What you just said.
I have suspended my autonomous reasoning
on matters
of salvation, and theology. I've suspended my autonomous reasoning and allowed the headship and sovereignty of God to take precedence on these matters.
Okay. You have suspended your autonomous
Doug, you've heard this before. You've heard this before in Calvinism.
Can I talk?
Oh,
I
use this opportunity to preach, but I suppose it's your show.
You want to use this opportunity to preach. Now I know you're trolling.
No, I'm not trolling. Okay.
Yes, you are.
I'm matching your energy.
You're troll. You're the biggest troll ever.
I'm matching your energy. Anyway, ask your question.
No, because you're not serious.
I am serious. You're not really serious either, Doug. You're
not serious.
I am serious. Okay, ask your question.
Well,
Well,
you come in here, you don't show your face.
Well,
You
no,
give
I
some
did
lame
show my face
excuse.
last time. I'm on a desktop computer. Don't have a webcam.
You don't have a webcam. So you won't be mad at me if I boot you then for not showing your face. Right? You won't be mad.
Well, I'll be crestfallen.
You'll be crestfallen.
Crestfallen.
Well, don't rely on your own crestfallen feelings. Rely on God.
Yeah, good
You'll be
point.
just fine. Okay?
Well, I'm still waiting for you to provide a worldview, like a competing worldview that accounts for intelligibility and grounds truth claims.
Through my ultimate presuppositions.
Yes.
That's your answer. That's my answer.
Your ultimate precept. Is that a concrete one or a concrete many?
It is both.
That's a contradiction.
I can't understand contradictions.
Nice. Well, I'm telling you, as a person who's, you know, grounded their epistemology in the sovereign mind and plan of God, that's a contradiction.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't even understand the words that you're saying because I don't have grounding.
Oh, maybe you've taken the Matt Slick course.
Who's this Matt Slick guy?
Well,
you see the nonsense that comes from this? If I take what you say at face value and apply it, you might as well just leave.
Doug, you're engaging what's called a worldview body double, and you're being disingenuous in order to, I'm
being disingenuous as soon as I start parroting what you say.
In order to perpetuate an atheist, heathen,
let me get this straight. Let me get this straight. When you say it, it's fine. But when I say the same thing back to you that you said to me,
sincere. You're not sincerely we're not.
I don't think you're sincere.
Okay, well, good. So
what do we do now?
Good for you.
What do we do now? You want to talk about something? You want to talk about something other than religion?
Yeah.
Let's try that for a second.
Yeah. How about those Leafs?
The Toronto Maple Leafs?
Yes.
I like Edmonton better.
That's probably best.
You're not Canadian, are you?
I am.
What province are you in?
Ontario. I'm actually an hour and a half's drive away from Saitan's church.
Have you ever met him?
No.
I have. I mean, not in real life, but face to face.
Yeah,
he likes me. You know what he said to me?
No.
He said the only way I'll become a Christian is if some travesty, some bad thing happens to me.
Oh, well, here's hoping. I'm kidding, Doug. Like maybe it'll be a mild tragedy, like the barista got your order wrong at In-N-Out or something.
What church do you go to?
That would be doxing myself, but it's a reformed
denomination.
It's a reformed church. I'm a little bit kind of dicey about reform because they basically don't believe that prayer is a thing. But other than that, I like that they are, they believe that sin is actually bad. They preach against sin. They preach against unbelief. They, it's a little bit boring. I've complained about it.
Are you typing right now?
No.
Are you in a call center?
I'm gaming.
You're gaming.
Yeah. I'm playing competitive Tetris, believe it or not.
Well, that explains something. You got a cognitive load on right now, so that's why it's tough for you.
No, I'm not very good, so it's not exactly eating up a lot of.
You're not very good at.
Are you calling me stupid, Doug? Are you saying that my brain is?
I'm not calling you stupid. I'm just saying you're not that bright. Can I ask? Are you over 20? You have to be over 20.
I
You're
am.
getting married. Yeah. You became a Christian and then you realized you couldn't defend it, so you started watching Matt Slick.
Well, I was an atheist, and then I realized that I had I listened to a lot of Darth Dawkins and Matt Slick, and I realized I was making fun of Presup, but I realized that they, I didn't have an account for grounding intelligibility. I couldn't.
And you still don't know what mine is, do you? Even though I've said it several times.
No, you've given some throwaway answers that were non-substantive.
No, I'm being serious.
And worldview body doubles. And
I understand the Presup shtick, and I understand
it's not shtick.
I understand the philosophy behind it. And basically, you have to have a starting point, or you don't have to. Well, no, you have to. And some people take, I think therefore I am. Some people take the universe and the properties it has, and that's what I do. So my grounding is that the universe exists and has the properties it has.
The universe is an abstract many. That's not ultimate.
God is an abstract many. That's not the ultimate.
He's not many because
the universe is not
God.
Not many. It's one universe, the cosmos.
It's purely conceptual. God is an actual living.
Universe is actual.
Being. No, it's
God is conceptual.
It's a description of the set of things. God is not conceptual. He came down as a flesh and blood human.
Now I know you're trolling. Okay, have a great night.
Thank
Oh my goodness. Presups. I don't think he's a serious Presup, but if there's any Presups in here, that's how you do it. You just right back at ya, baby. He's gaming Tetris. If that's not an insult to me, I don't know what is. Now, if he was gaming PUBG, I'd have more respect for him. But Reverend Tacos?
How's it going, folks?
You sound like you're having a good day.
I hope so.
Do you have something you want to say?
Yeah. So could we discuss people's obsession with faith? It's sort of like an addiction. They worship. They love doing the rosary. They love doing the mantras. It's sort of like an addiction. They're obsessed with it.
Yeah, that's because it gives them a dopamine rush.
It's like being a junkie, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, so where do you think that comes from? Do you think this is a natural progression of just humanity itself, something that was taught to us, or something that we just like an emergent property that it's just what humans do?
It helped humans build community. The idea of religion.
Okay, what else?
What else? That basically sums it up, doesn't it? Like morality. Think about you're out alone in the woods and you're about to kill someone because you don't like them, but then someone told me there's a God out there. I better not, because bad things might happen. So it helps people behave. And then people tend to coalesce around really strange beliefs. Oh, you believe? So think of the flat earthers. They got a very strong community, and then when they throw a convention, it's like, oh yeah, we all believe in the same crazy thing. It's the same with Christianity.
Yeah, why do they do that? When we look at modern day cults, there's tons of them. There's a whole bunch of dudes that think they are Jesus, but yeah, it's 2022. We don't live in the age of superstition anymore. Well, some people still believe in superstition, magical thinking.
Most of the world is superstitious.
That's right. But even though it's 2022, we have logical explanations for many things. Our thought processes. We understand ourselves a little bit better than say.
You're assuming everybody's been touched by the Enlightenment. That's not true. There are many places in the world today that the Enlightenment really hasn't been there yet.
But I'm talking about like even in the modern day world. Remember the Hellbob cult with the Applewhite?
Oh yeah.
And then you have like modern day cults who think they are Jesus. We're talking 2022 here in the Western world. People are still following this crap. Like what's going on in their minds?
It's my theory is it's neediness. So when people become desperate or they have this, as the Christians say, like a hole in their heart, they will search out to find some hope, some meaning, some purpose. They want to be loved.
You think they're just a bunch of narcissistic people who need validation?
No, not narcissism. It's just hurting, desperate people. And sometimes they're not even desperate. They're just, there's this thing in their life that just feels empty. Like, let's say you're very successful, you've accomplished all your goals, and then you say, oh, now what? And so then they start, like, I've heard of people, very successful people, going into cults like the Branch Davidians or whatever. You know, it's just Scientology. Look at that cult. I mean, there's a lot of successful people in that cult, but they're searching for some type of community and some type of hope, I guess.
Do you think that it's our fault for not offering them an alternative, offering them a place where they can go to seek comfort and understanding and sense of tranquility in their mind? That, like, if I have a society that needs to go to some cult leader for their like comfort, their little happy blanket, that's a society that is not doing well. I mean, if it leads to magical thinking and superstition and strange, bizarre belief systems, that's not a healthy society.
I don't think you can blame me. I'm doing my part.
No, I don't mean you. I mean in general, in the general sense. Like if I have a best friend or a family member or acquaintance who's like, you know, Tacos, I haven't been feeling well lately. I'm a little depressed, and I would offer them, you know, maybe go to see a psychiatrist, maybe speak to a psychologist, speak to like a health professional that can help you talk through your machinations. But then he'd be like, well, no, I don't believe in psychology. I don't believe in psychiatry. I'm going to go to my local witch doctor. That type of society that would, like, if there's no infrastructure there to help society, I mean, we're heading down the wrong road, don't you think? Like we want to give people good.
I'm going to say no to that question. Like, is there any period of history you would rather live than today?
No, I mean, even in the modern time, we have modern tools to help fix people, but yet there's still like going to like voodoo and woo stuff.
Yeah, I understand. That's reality. What's your point?
Like, how do we fix that?
One step at a time, and it probably will take 1,000 years.
You think you think these religions
or it might not ever be fixed?
Yeah, but I think that do you agree that the system is kind of broken?
There's parts of the system broken, parts that are not.
Like, okay, so let's make a person. If you had a personal friend,
I think I've had enough of you, Taco Man.
Why, man? Why, man?
Because you're not really saying anything.
I don't know. I'm trying to get something going.
Yeah, no, don't try. When you try to get something going, it usually fails. It has to be organic. It has to be like organic, natural. You're forcing it.
Do you believe that like some religious people are just like too far gone to be fixed?
Doug has no real solutions. What? I got a solution is to watch the Pine Creek channel. Yo quiero Taco Bell. This guy just wants to talk. Yeah. Teaching critical reasoning at a very early age helps. Teaching about all the religions, cults of the world from an unbiased perspective helps. There's many things you can do. Street epistemology, asking questions instead of making claims, helps. Why isn't nobody shows their face anymore? James, why aren't you showing your face?
Oh, you know, privacy, this kind of thing. I apologize.
And your sound sucks. I can't see you and your sound sucks.
Okay. How's that? Is that better?
No, not better.
Here, let me hold on.
No. What do you want to say? I just better figure out if it's worth even trying with you.
Yes, so I hold on, so let me get my sound here. Can you hear me okay? Is that better?
No, it's bad. I can hear you, but it's crackling.
Okay.
Say one sentence and I'll let you go. One sentence, go.
I wanted you to talk about, I recently rewatched the Mike Winger debate with a theistic evolutionist. And I'm fascinated with, Mike Winger obviously takes the stance that, follow the evidence wherever it leads, which is his whole thing. But, in the same breath, he kind of gives oxygen to something that is obviously a pseudoscience. And it just
Danny.
Hey, what's going on?
Finally, a guy with a camera, good mic, new haircut.
New haircut. I was my employer forced me. They actually approached me saying my hair was too long. I teach at a Catholic church now, so they're all, I guess, short hair is like, I don't know.
Those Catholics are strict.
I wanted to say that Jesus had long hair, but I didn't want to make things worse. But yeah, I think I have a disagreement with you, but I have to make sure there is a disagreement. The video that you had about, and this is just a general criticism of William Lane Craig that people have, that he says that, look, I know God exists by the inner witness and the arguments are totally aside, right? I still am going to hold to Christianity. Could you articulate the way that you understood, like, what was wrong there with the video that you had with Craig?
That there's no amount of evidence that could change his mind.
Yeah. And is that, so he's saying that it's not a matter of evidence, it's a matter of a witness of the inner, of the Holy Spirit.
Yeah. So my main point in that video was that he has, so if any evidence stares him in the face that is contradictory to his current beliefs, he would lean on that inner witness. But that's a problem because he has defeaters for that.
Defeaters for, like, how does he know it's the Spirit rather than something else? Okay, that was the point. Okay.
Yeah.
No, then I don't think there's a disagreement. I'm just making sure, because if you're granting this idea that God, you could know God via inner witness, then yeah, I think I didn't really see an issue. But if the whole problem is that he's not going to be able to give criteria for by which it is the inner witness of the Holy Spirit, okay. Well, then I don't think.
So basically, when we're talking about Mormons or any other religion that has these experiences of their deities, he would say, well, but theirs is wrong and our mine's right. But that's all he can say, really.
Yeah. Okay. No, that makes sense. No. Okay. That's all I wanted to ask. I'm going to let you go. This StreamYard thing is a new thing. What's up with the Weebly?
I'm trying it out in combination with XSplit and another software package that I'm using. And I'm realizing it doesn't really work well together. I don't know. Is this better than just XSplit?
Well, I can tell the quality of your video is slightly lower than usual because you're usually at 1080. This looks like 720 to me.
No, I'm usually at 720.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
It looks, for some reason, it looks better when you don't use StreamYard.
Really?
Yeah, but
I have aged since I've used XSplits since, so maybe I'm just older now, and that's why I look worse.
But is it easier to bring? Do you like bringing in people out of in and out? Is that easier?
Yeah, it's easier. Well, so far I've just brought in, mostly just one at a time. So if that's all I'm doing, then XSplit's good. But if I'm bringing in more than one, then StreamYard is probably the way to go. And then stuff like this, like XSplit still hasn't figured out how to do stuff like this.
Okay, well, at least someone thinks it looks good. The coloring lighting does seem, maybe something's different. I can't pinpoint what it is, but yeah. That's all. That's all I wanted to say about the Craig thing. I was wondering what you were getting at there, but now it's clear to me. So I'll just let you go. Thanks for having me on.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Help me with my coloring.
Okay. Okay.
That's contrast.
Oh, I see now. Okay. That might look okay, but it just maybe I'm just not used to you being so big. The smaller that you are, the less you can tell that there's a yeah, as you get smaller, you might I don't know. It looks grainy. Am I off here, guys? Chad is right. Yeah. So I'm not the only I'm not the only one. You went
Hi everyone.
Oh my gosh, no one really
This is the scene from Jesus. He's like, I'm going to my Father now. Bye.
Someone there's other people in the chat that are saying that I'm onto something, but I don't know. Maybe there's something to figure out. Maybe you can rewatch and compare and figure that out. I'm not going to. Okay, so Danny agrees with Danny in the chat, so that's good. But it's fine. I mean, I don't know.
How's your channel going?
I haven't posted anything in 20 days. I've been so busy, and then also I've been on TikTok for an hour here, an hour there, and it's hard to. It's tough. You see, I'm jealous of people like you and other people that have followings, not because you have followers, but because it's easier to find these conversations with people. Like no one wants to talk to me, right? Because they don't know who, they don't, I'm not the Pine Creek or anything like that. So,
well, nobody wants to talk to me either, really.
Does it feel that way? You're getting a lot more than like, I'm jealous. So there's more that you're getting than I am. I mean,
yeah, but look at the quality I'm getting.
Yeah, I mean, you got Otangelo on here. That's true.
Otangelo, and then that other troll guy playing Tetris. I mean, Sean McDowell's listening right now. Come on in. The water's warm.
Yeah, but I think part of what's going on is your reputation. You have a very bad reputation with theists. I know you do. Look, I don't know if
what have you heard?
This, right? What
have you heard?
Well, I mean that you're not looking for serious conversation. This is. I think all of this is false. Okay, I think all of this is false. But
yeah,
that you're not looking for a real conversation. That you're not up to speed with all the philosophy and the current arguments. That you don't know Swinburne, that kind of stuff. Like you're just behind on that stuff. Which
Swinburne?
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean.
He talks like that, right?
Yeah, and then people, I don't know why, but a lot of people think you're disingenuous. And I think that, I mean, I might have first thought that because you trolled me, but you usually don't troll theists as much as, I don't know. I think those three things is like, I think you're worth talking to. Think about what Brent did to you. Is he still banned? I bet he is.
Who?
Brent Keller?
Oh, yeah, he's banned.
Yeah, he's banned because he was encouraging people. He was discouraging people from talking to you.
Yes.
So right.
Kicked them.
Yeah. And there's people that are like that on the theist side. Hey, don't talk to Pine Creek. He's again a waste of time. There are people that do that to you. And so now you're getting like the dregs of society, of the Christian apologetics world. I don't know. I think that's part of what's going on. Maybe I'm really off here, but
I just think that I don't care who they are who comes in. I tend to ask very short, simple questions, and Christians don't like that.
Yeah, and I much prefer your approach. I think that also what's really annoying to me is that these other bigger channels, like Capturing Christianity and whatever, they'll attack they'll attack genetically modified skeptic, they'll attack this person or at least respond to them. And I don't know why they're completely ignoring you when why do you think that is? I mean, I think it's the reason.
Well, there could be I only have 16,000 subs and most channels have more subs. And so maybe if that's the metric they're using to decide whether or not to do a video on me or talk about me. But the thing is, I get how many people get 268 people on a late Saturday night watching
that, and they respond to people like James Fodor. I mean, who has a very small following on YouTube. So, and I'm saying
that's true.
I think that they're ignoring you for similar reasons that they're ignoring Nathan. They just I don't know. there's that connection.
Well, then it can't be the philosophy thing because
yeah,
Nathan loves philosophy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really, but I see where you're coming from. You're getting like kind of, you're getting the Otangelos of the world, but I don't know. So that's something to figure out.
But look what I did to Gary Habermas.
Yeah.
Like, I think the reason why some top tier apologists won't talk to me is because they know that I can be very polite, very calm, very civil, but I don't put up with BS either. Like, and not in a Matt Dillahunty way, but just like with Gary Habermas, I didn't give him the respect that he thought he deserved. And maybe some of that is like, to be honest, every top tier apologist that I can think of, I do not truly respect anything they do. Like, it's not, to me, it's now that does, I can say that, and now for sure nobody's going to come on, but I can say that, but on the same hand, I will listen to them. I'll steelman them. I'll repeat back what they just said. And I think we can have still a good conversation. But in its essence, all these top tier philosopher types in religion, like, no, I think you've wasted your career.
But
you might have made money, but
you weren't even disrespectful towards Habermas. Like, that's not what was going on there is, look, you wanted progress. That's what you wanted more than anything else, is you wanted to make progress. And he was, given the time constraints and all of that, yada, yada, like, he was doing things that sort of impeded the kind of progress you were looking for. I think in pointing that out, he's taking that as disrespect, or people are taking that as being disingenuous. I don't know, but I empathized with what was going on with the Habermas case. But you see, I probably would have. They want you to play their game, right? In the sense that, like, you have to do it this way. You have to, like, hear out all of their whole dissertation about the issue and all this. But I could see what you were doing there, and I didn't interpret that as disrespect. I thought you just wanted to make progress, and you're like, hey, if you continue to do this, we will not make progress. That's how I understood you. Is that kind of where you were coming from?
Yeah, like, I just hate bloviation. I hate, like, just give me a one sentence answer. It's okay to be misunderstood at first, and then if you're not, then you save so much time. And if there is a misunderstanding, then I can ask questions to clarify. But like B.S. Lewis said, Horn said he liked you. Yeah, but I really don't think Trent Horn would ever come on my show where there's not a moderator and it's just him and I talking. That would be dangerous for him, I think.
But another thing, I think why because Horn is not as bad as people like Habermas, right? You can say, hey, look, this is what I want to do. This is, if we can cut the bloviation, like, he's not going to get, like, really,
You're right. Yeah, Horn is not as insecure as Habermas. Habermas is an insecure old man.
Yeah, and it's only those kind of people can you get along with. I think, like, in that, where Horn likes you and you like Horn. At least there's that kind of respect going on. But yeah, there's a PR problem here for sure, I think, on your end, and it's, like, hard to diagnose because you have you don't have a lot of subscribers compared. Your proportion between the viewers and the participation and the views and all of that to the number of subscribers is weird. I've tried to understand that, right? Like, that. Why do you think that is? You just have a really loyal following of Pine Creekers, or like?
Yeah, it's loyalty, and also it's something simple. My YouTube channel's name is so incredibly easy. You don't need to subscribe to my channel to find me. Pine Creek, you type it in YouTube and there I am. Like, I'm probably the first 20 hits out of, I don't know, 50 on YouTube with Pine Creek as the keyword. So I think a lot of people just don't subscribe to me. By the way, I'll take this opportunity. If you've been watching a lot of my videos and you're not subscribed to me, maybe if you did, some more apologists would talk to me.
Yeah, I am a little bit annoyed about people just kind of bypassing, your concerns and your questions. And I think that if you got a bigger following, it would be harder for them to do that. And and because it happens to me too, right? Like I'm virtually a nobody, right? And people might know my name, but like they can just bypass everything I'm saying and they chase other atheists that are easier to respond to. That's what really gets me, is that like Mike Winger will attack like very unsophisticated arguments. What his last few videos had to do with like analyzing atheist memes, and it was just like, why not respond to like the hard stuff? And he can get away with not responding to the hard stuff. But if you had a bigger following, maybe and this bigger subscriber count, it would be hard for him to do it, to get away with this.
Well, the thing is, like, I can't really blame Mike Winger for doing what he's doing because he doesn't need to engage with non-Christians. I'm sure he's making 6 figures just preaching to the choir. So why should he become uncomfortable?
Yeah, I mean, but there are a lot of Christians that will dedicate their content to Bible stuff and theology, and they're like, look, atheism is not for me. What annoys me about Mike Winger is that he's saying that, well, I'm focusing, I don't debate, I just do like theology stuff. And then he goes on and makes videos responding to atheists, but then ignores all the hard questions, I think, or at least gives really inadequate responses to hard questions. But I don't know.
Like I asked Sean McDowell to come on Twitter, and he said, I'll pray about it, which we all know is keyword for when you say that to an atheist, that's a Christian middle finger.
Yeah, and you might be blacklisted by people like Winger, right? They probably have their own little Facebook Messenger group, right? And then one of them is just, like Winger or someone like that is like telling all the others, they blacklisted you maybe too. There's probably something like that going on too. Anyways. Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully you'll get that necessary following to where they can't ignore you. But
the part of the thing is that because this is just a hobby for me and I do it for my own entertainment mostly, it's not like I have on my live stream, I've invited all the people that you've mentioned verbally, but it's not like I call them or email them incessantly. Like I've emailed some people once, but it's not like I try hard. Because to me, that seems kind of petty if I try hard. Like I don't do what T-Jump does. Like and I'm sure he's to the point now that people contact him.
I think he gets someone to email people that like.
Oh, he has an assistant.
Yes, because there was this guy. Do you know Nicholas something Messiah Proclaimer?
I've heard of him. Yeah.
Yeah, he got an email, and then when he discussed the email with T-Jump was talking about a person that had written the email to him. Someone, he wasn't talking about himself. So, and he named him. So he does that, but.
Yeah, well, I got Myron, but he's useless.
I would guess so. Anyways, I gotta go. Thanks for having me on.
See ya.
Okay, bye.
Let me try something here. If I do this.
Does my voice change? Do I sound different? Let me know if what does this sound like? Or this. Sean McDowell, will you please come and talk to me? Paging Sean McDowell.
Hey, Gary Habermas. I'd love to have you on.
I am Satan. No, I can't say that because the devil will come.
I don't know what voice this is. Which one was the angel?
This is called whisper. Am I whispering right now? Hey, William Lane Craig. This is Pine Creek. I need you to come on my live stream. When I was a Christian, I did exorcisms.
Not really. So all that worked? See, but because I changed the voice thing, I got to rechange this. Weird. Which was your favorite voice? Oh, hey, we got a caller. And he's showing his face. Hi, Brent.
Hello. Yeah,
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I've been a fan of yours since probably a week ago. Your epistemological way of communicating to other people really helped me in becoming an atheist, turning from, I think, agnostic to atheist.
Oh, wow. Did you get your gift card from Wichita to Applebee's?
From Wichita? What's
Yeah,
that?
we give gift cards to people who become atheists from watching me.
Oh, okay. No.
Oh, you didn't get it? Myron, what's wrong with you? Brent needs to get a $20 gift card to Applebee's. Well, you're in New Zealand, right?
No. I'm from Australia. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I haven't shaved in a while.
Do you live in the Outback?
I live in Canberra. There's an Anglican church nearby, so I used to go to that one.
So I was a big part of you becoming an atheist?
Yeah.
Do you
So
remember what I said?
What?
What did I say to make you become an atheist?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Just the epistemological style that you kind of preach, like having a double standard, for what you claim is fantastic claims, or like historical evidence, is not something that you should just base an extraordinary claim on, because it needs to be grounded in empirical science. Yeah.
So what has been the consequence of? Yeah, it makes sense. What has been the consequence of you becoming an atheist? Have you lost friends and family, or things been okay?
I haven't really been interacting. I went an agnostic in 2014, so I lost the church then.
Okay.
So it wasn't just theism to atheism.
I see. Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
And also Toby Singer.
Hey, Brent, your connection was horrible, Brent. But I'm happy that you're willing to tell people you're an atheist, and I'm happy that you liked some of my videos and that played a part. But it was too tough to hear you. What are your thoughts on Salman Rushdie and the whole incident that happened? It was terrible. Arabian Princess is terrible, but it's kind of backfired on. For those of you who don't know, he was stabbed and he's a ex-Muslim, right? But he's selling a book, and now his book is like doing very, very well. This is a small price to pay for success, right? He's getting stabbed. Hey, I did the Canadian thing, eh? Hey, hard price to pay, eh? GrrMania.
Hello.
Grr. You never show your face.
Just my avatar, which is technically my face. Technically.
How do you show avatars on here? I can't even show your avatar.
What? What kind of?
What kind of StreamYard is this?
I want a refund.
Usually on Nathan's channel, you can show avatars. But maybe I clicked the wrong button somewhere.
It could be in the settings, like below the screen.
Oh, I think I turned it off.
Oh, you son of a! It's okay. Nobody needs to see my avatar anyway.
But but I'm using XSplit in combination to StreamYard, so I can do this.
Oh, okay, I see it now. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you could cover your face with my avatar. There it is.
So you can never do stuff like this on StreamYard.
It's the Grr Creek show.
Okay, what do you want to say to me?
I was gonna say, well, I don't remember what my original point was because your voice changing stuff had me rolling. Because you're
you like that? Did you?
The whispering one was legit. It legit sounded like you were
Okay,
whispering.
I'll do that for you.
Because it was, hey everybody, it's Pine
Get
Creek.
rid of that.
Yeah, get rid of that. Nobody wants to see.
Okay, I'm gonna go white here for a second.
You look like an angel.
So you said the whisper one you liked, or which one?
Oh, the first one sounded like an angel. I think it was.
The first one was this.
Yeah, that's it. It sounds like something called what's it called? It's not auto-tune. It's what is it called? You can find whole videos of like presidential speeches set in the tone of your voice right now, and it's hilarious. I forget what it's called though.
Well, it's good that I'm white now because I have this angelic voice. I do not understand why apologists won't talk to such a beautiful voice like this.
Anyway, let me see if I can.
Sounds like if I sing. Amazing.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Grace. Does that sound good?
That actually does sound good. I'm not gonna lie. Vocoder bugs drugs bunny says that's what it is. It's a vocoder, whatever that means. But yes. I can't remember what my question was gonna be. I saw Danny came in here, and so I said, okay, I guess I'll join. So as far as you not getting the attention that and I'm sure most, if not all of your audience would agree with, is you don't seem to get attention from the heavy hitters like your Mike Wingers, your Inspiring Philosophies of YouTube, and I don't know why that is. The only thing
because I'm an agent of Satan.
That's what it is.
I told people that I work for Satan, Lucifer. I tell them that he's sitting right in the corner, and you know what, Grr? They believe me.
Well, with that voice, yes, I would believe it too. When it comes to Otangelo, he's an interesting fella, and I mean that in the least complimentary way that I know how. But yes, one thing about him is, even though he's a young earth creationist and all that fun stuff, he still thinks that, and I guess rightfully so, according to the Bible, that anyone who is not a Christian will suffer for eternity. And it's like, dude, like you're talking.
Otangelo is correct. If you do not accept Jesus as your Lord and personal Savior, you will suffer for eternity.
It actually turns your face red when you do that setting. Anyways.
I'm just kidding, you'll be fine. Everybody's going to heaven.
It's like the angel on my right, devil on my left.
Universalism is true.
If there was one opinion that I could hold, like I could choose to take, it would be universalism, that everybody goes to heaven and bad people, they suffer, but eventually they go to heaven. If there's one worldview that I could actually believe in, that would be it. But no, I'm stuck with boring atheism and just.
You don't want to live forever, do you?
Actually, I don't actually.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe you agree with me. Doesn't the thought of living your consciousness being forever, isn't that kind of terrifying? Even if it is in heaven, whatever heaven may be, that's kind of a scary thought, because you will never cease. Your consciousness will never cease to be. That's scary.
The human consciousness was not meant to ever live forever.
No, you
I
sound
have
like
been
Dark
told
Matter.
this by my ancestors.
You sound like Dark Matter, Jeffrey from Dark Matter 2525.
Okay, I gotta stop this.
You're throwing me
Stop
off.
it. Oh.
Off.
Oh,
There you go. There, I'm back.
I was about to say you're still white, but then as soon as you said I'm back, it went back to normal.
I know it. So there's some interference between the 3 software programs I'm using right now, but it's fun.
Well, I could imagine. What software are you using?
Right now I'm using XSplit in combination with StreamYard in combination with Logitech's G Hub. That's all the sound stuff.
Okay.
But when I use it, it somehow, I think that it's the XSplit and the G Hub causing problems. They're fighting each other.
And StreamYard is kind of known for like eating up like CPU. So that
Oh, I got power, baby.
I figured you did.
Yeah.
So I have to ask, this is a complete sidebar. Have you received any more heat for that one guy you had on your show? What was his name? God, I can't remember his name.
Price?
Yes, Dr. Robert Price. Have you
Oh,
received
no.
any more heat from that?
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Not recently, no.
Now, were you?
I was kind of shocked. The number of atheists that were mad at me.
Well, I wouldn't be shocked by that because, even though I am a lefty, I am a liberal, I have noticed that a lot of atheist liberals do seem to lean way far into the whole, oh, this person has somebody on that I disagree with, therefore I'm not going to talk to this person anymore.
What's wrong with those atheists?
It messes up conversations, first and foremost. And it makes boogeymen out of people that you would otherwise agree with, let's say 80 or 99% of the time. And it just stifles conversation. And it's quite annoying, in my opinion.
I know,
And
but don't these atheists see that? Like, or I guess they just don't want the conversation then, right?
Yeah, I guess that would be the logical conclusion. But it's so icky. It's like if somebody says something,
That's my trademark word, icky.
oh, is it? Well, it's like this. Okay, so if there was some known author or speaker that held some really, really disgusting views, wouldn't you want them to say that so you know not
Yes,
to
who they
that
are.
person anymore? You're right, exactly who they
Yeah.
are. That's the way I see it, and it's just
Exactly.
that simple for me.
You know, you need to join the light. And come on my team.
What is the light? I don't. What's your team?
I need you right now. It's reversed. Right now, this is you. You need to go. This
Oh,
way.
I see. Your left is my right. Yeah.
Yeah, see, you're because you sound like a reasonable guy. Like reasonable people come on the right.
I actually, I'm the exact opposite. I came from the right, began to question everything, my religion, my faith, my politics, and then I became an atheist, and then I started to lean more to the left than I was.
Yeah, because you were in search of hope, meaning, and purpose. So you grabbed onto the religion of secularism and the big government.
Okay, I have to ask you. Okay, do you ever use the word woke in a non-ironic sense of the word?
I actually don't use that term hardly ever.
Oh, thank God. I knew you were reasonable because anytime I turn on Fox News or Ben Shapiro, they use the word woke all the time, and they never actually define what they mean when they use that word woke. It's basically a boogeyman. It was socialism. It was SJWs. Now it's just woke. Oh,
I think I can help you understand what they mean by it. I don't watch Fox News. I haven't watched more than
you get a
60
gold
seconds.
star next to your name.
But my guess is whenever you hear someone who leans right say the word woke, what they mean is feel sorry for ism.
Feel sorry. How would that work? Like, how would you use that in a sentence? I guess is what I'm.
No, it's an idea. It's a impression. So for example, you can't say anything negative about trans people. Why?
Okay.
Now Fox News would use the word woke. I would use the word because of feel sorry for ism. You have to support LGBTQ whatever. I seriously don't remember those letters. And if you don't, then you're homophobic, whatever. Someone on Fox News, oh, you're woke. I would say, well, no, you have this deep-seated feel sorry for-ism. Whereas I'm a fair guy. Like, I don't care about most people, so I don't care about the LGBTQ community either. They're strangers to me.
Well, I will say, anytime I hear the word woke used by mostly, if not exclusively, right-wingers or white-wingers, depending on your politics.
I'm going to keep this up during this conversation so I remember. see, you know what? You know what, Gurr? What they should just say instead of those letters is just say, not straight.
You know what? I actually, I think that's fair. Simple. Easy.
Yeah.
It's non-straight or
non-cis. The thing is,
but
then the lesbians say, but what about me? And then the gays say, but what about me? And then the bisexuals, well, what about us? Yeah. It's like, just say you're not straight.
Okay, that's actually fair, because I have wondered what would be a way to get around.
Not solely straight.
What's a good way to get around all the letters, just for simplicity's sake, nothing else?
NS, not straight.
NS, yeah, the non-NS group, I guess. But
the funny thing is, I got at least a few gay men watch my channel. And I got quite a few trans people actually watch my channel. And I feel their support. And it's just all these straight people who get deeply offended with me.
Well, I have noticed it does seem to be those who are not affected that get the most offended over those that do get affected. Not every time, but I've noticed that a great amount, I guess you could say. It's like, you said this one thing, I'm offended on behalf of that one thing, and they don't let the people who may or may not be offended by whatever the thing is speak for themselves. But that's beside the point. As far as like, when it comes to like atheism, secularism, and politics, be it right or left, what do you think is the reason that it seems to me that so many atheists do lean to the left, like myself?
I already told you. It's because you need to find a replacement, or some people need to find a replacement for the hope, meaning, and purpose that they lost.
So it's a God-shaped hole.
Yeah, for a lot of people, it's to be an activist. It's to find someone who's sad and try to help them through their day. It's to give hugs. It's to injustice we've got to make right. And so this is their new passion. This is their new religion. This is their new goal that gives them purpose.
Well, would you say that, like, what left type of viewpoints do you think you hold to, if you hold to any left-leaning points of view? I get that you're right wing, not white wing, but what would make you say, okay, the leftists are right?
I think a lot more drugs should be legal that are illegal.
Yeah. Okay, I agree with that. Absolutely. Like marijuana, maybe cocaine, maybe.
I think online poker should be legal.
Of course, you would think that.
You know what? I saw on YouTube the other day. What's his name? Santos? No.
Talking about. You talking about the politician down in Florida?
Yeah. Yes. What's his name?
Ron DeSantis, I think is his name.
No, it wasn't him.
Oh.
But he's actually Canadian. Someone help me in the chat. I know his name. He's a Canadian. He's naturalized in the U.S. and he's a senator, Republican senator.
And it's not DeSantis.
I saw him on YouTube the other day playing poker, and I immediately started to love the guy. Like, he was very affable, and I'm going, hey, if he can get online poker back legal in the whole United States. Ted Cruz, thank you. 832.
No
awesome.
way. It was Ted Cruz.
Look him up. Ted Cruz poker, and even if you hate him, you're gonna like him because you're seeing him in a completely different atmosphere than politics.
I will say, if you see anyone outside of their element and they look more, I don't know, approachable, It does make them more likable, I think. But I would have never guessed it was Ted Cruz.
Yeah, I didn't either. But he loves poker.
Well, like as far as like the simple stuff, like drugs, you're pretty much like okay with legalizing all or most drugs, would you say?
Yeah. Other issues, like I'm mostly against abortion, but to me, it's
that's where I was gonna go with next.
Yeah, but to me, it's like I would say I'm very centrist there. Like most of Western society has like this 12-week thing. I'm okay with that. But I don't think any woman should be punished for it. Like,
well, okay, so if you're like after,
unless it's like really late,
or it's
like
yours,
a 2-year-old.
Okay, so after 12 weeks, then maybe it's questionable to where maybe it should be illegal.
Like I think you, Gurr, are way more valuable than an embryo.
Yeah,
like a billion times. I'd kill 1 billion embryos before I'd kill you.
Well, I appreciate that. I feel safe now.
But I do think their value is greater than 0 because we have something that can become a human being that Christians listening right now said they are human beings. Someone who becomes a person who might cure cancer.
Functionality is there.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, and as far as when it should be illegal, you would say that's, let's just say, I don't know, 4 months into the pregnancy, then maybe it should be illegal.
Yeah, but there, of course, there's always exceptions.
Okay, yeah, like mother's life in danger.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't actually think it should be a legal thing. I'm willing to say that it's wrong, but it's not that wrong.
Okay, well,
but I don't want to get into politics. I'm actually
that's fair. That's fair.
I'm thinking of starting a Pine Creek. I started a Pine Creek poker channel, and I'm thinking of starting a Pine Creek politics channel. Do you think I should do that?
You know what? It's not a bad idea. I understand separating the two because you want content for a certain viewership that relies on you for that content, and then maybe a divergent for something else. Maybe another audience, or maybe some of the same audience that you have. But anyways, okay, well, I think that's everything.
Take care, Gurr.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Okay, I'm going to try something here. Hey, guys, thanks for all the donations. I hopefully didn't miss any, but I'm going to call it a night. And I will see you next week. Oh, Brent, I see you there, but I'm going to end the stream. I've already been on for how long? Over 2 hours. But good luck to you, Brent.